She said, she'll take me anywhere, she'll take me anywhere, as long as she stays with me. She said, she'll take me anywhere, she'll take me anywhere, as long as I stay queen. Yes, yes, Molly's lips. Yes, yes, Molly's lips. Yes, yes, Molly's lips. Yes, yes, Molly's lips. Hey, Matt here, and last night I finally watched it. I found it on Netflix, and yes, it's the NICKELBACK I Love to Hate DVD or documentary, and I found it quite interesting. I mean, there was a lot of people on their YouTubers, rather Steve Cherryberry was in the intro, also in half of, well, sort of the rest of his video, some of it was there. And of course Chris Collins, or Call Me Chris, on TikTok. But this was an interesting video, and I feel there's a majority of people that are fans than people that aren't fans. Like, I understand it used to be cool to hate Nickelback, and honestly I still don't get it. Like, I never really understood that. Like, you like what you like, whatever. And it was interesting to see that, yeah, that, like, first of all, having Mike with health issues and then being in the hospital, and I still don't know what he said vertigo, but then it was made out to be like maybe a stroke or something. He's completely fine now. And then Ryan, the drummer, who, by the way, I didn't know he played 3 Doors Down, which, that's pretty cool. And, you know, he had issues with his arms and his right arm, actually. And had no idea whether he was going to be able to stay in the band, whether he was wanted in that band, because I believe it was Mitch that he replaced. I can't remember. But for me, it was like, and I wish that somebody would have found my video and put it on there, but then again, I probably wouldn't have put it on there anyways. I feel like Nickelback is one of those bands that were Canada's best bands in the 2000s. Like, yeah, I know they started in the 90s, but when you look at bands like The Tragically Hip or 5440 or Max Webster, you know, bands in the last 40 years or whatever, and then you go into the 2000s and you have Nickelback and all those, and it's like they defined rock and roll in a way for Canada. I feel like, and it was said too, like when they came in the Roadrunner banner, I guess, it was said that we like made Roadrunner popular. I'm paraphrasing, but it was a good documentary. That's all I'm saying. It was when I was in grade 12 that I can remember, and this because this was late 2001, and How You Remind Me was being played on the radio, and not knowing who Nickelback was, or at least so I thought, because I could have heard them and not know, that band was so very, like, to me, awesome. Never thought about hating them or anything like that. I didn't think their voice, like, Chad's voice was annoying, you know, and it was like, okay, And then 2004, I bought the DVD where they played Edmonton, and that was pretty cool. Just the fact that they're another one of those hard rock bands that put on a hell of a show. And that's what Jerry Cantrell said, is like, people go, why would you play with Nickelback? And he would say, we've been to a concert. They would say no, and then he would say, well, maybe you should. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, there's not a band that I know of that people are gonna shit on, for a better word, I guess. And yeah, it's just weird because there are bands I don't like, and I'm sure when I was a teenager, I would have been like, this, whatever, just dissing them and all that stuff. But I think Nickelback has always been one of those bands that I appreciated, and yeah, they are one of my favorite bands. I should listen to the newer stuff, but are there songs I don't like? Sure, but I don't hate them. This documentary was interesting because I also saw the nostalgia. Like, not only did they show footage of their bands and like beginning in the mid 90s, but they also showed in like near the end them visiting their hometown and just finding where they used to jam. And I think that's pretty cool to go back and just to see where your roots are. And being the guys that are still humble to this day. Like, I don't know any other rock band that would do that, and I could be wrong, but I hope this video made sense. I really do, because I'm still trying to gather my thoughts from this stupid cold. But I saw this last night. I wanted to talk about it a little bit. And yeah, I remember Chad saying something 2 years ago, or maybe I read it somewhere, that they had started as a metal band, but when I heard their stuff from the 90s, like, well, I saw clips of it last night, I was thinking, well, I mean, I would say they're still a hard rock band at that point. And definitely playing cover songs, Three Pistols by the Tragically Hip, which I thought was pretty cool. I didn't realize that Chad wasn't the first singer at first. But anyways, so that was a good DVD. Well, I keep saying DVD, Netflix documentary. I would definitely recommend it. And as much as I'm sure I butchered this video, anyways, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
So you know that them cutting WCW was a long time coming. I don't think that's the case at all. If you look at some of his earlier interviews, like